Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm your Mat Pilates instructor today. And this week, we're going to be focusing on a progressive exercise plan. So we've been building the foundations of Pilates with the breath, basic exercises, exercises for instability, and Pilates movement principles like lumbo-pelvic stability, ribs, spinal alignment. So here this week, we're going to combine all of everything that we've learned and experience what it feels like to have a progressive class. So what I mean by that is this will be a foundational Mat Pilates progression. So it'll involve warming up, turning up the core, challenging the core, increasing spinal mobility, strengthening spinal extension, developing scapular mobility and strength, strengthening your quads and hip flexors, stretching your quads and hip flexors, as well as strengthening hamstrings, hip extensors, stretching those same muscles, strengthening adductors, stretching adductors, and strengthening abductors and stretching abductors. So as you can see in this beautiful foundational class progression, we're going to work on the whole body. So this is when Mat Pilates does become a whole body workout. Yes, focused around the core and spinal mobility and strength, but we do acknowledge and have to also strengthen our lower body as well as our upper body to help keep everything in our skeleton in alignment. So we're going to get started. Awesome. Roll out your mat if you have not already. And the warm-up is just to begin to get our awareness of our breath and to warm up the body to get everything warmed up. So today we won't be going through the entire foundational class progression experience, because if we did, it would be over an hour only because of instructing every single exercise that's an option for these different areas, like challenging the core or increasing spinal mobility. So we're going to do about half this foundational class experience here today. And then next week, we'll pick back up and we'll finish the other half. So that's where we're at. So we'll be starting with warming up, turning up the core, challenging the core, increasing spinal mobility, and strengthening spinal extension. So that's where we're going today. So that's the first half of our class. All right, let's get started. Coming up to stand. So these will be some of our warm-up exercises. So stand up, find your feet pointed straight forward, hips forward, chest forward, check down below, see if your toes, like we could have external rotation, we could have internal rotation. So look down, check in with your body, see that your toes are pointed straight forward. These are some exercises that we could do to begin to warm up the body. So feet hip width distance apart, we'll take it into squats. Gazing towards the horizon, knees bend generally over the feet, booty extends back. I'm squatting here, pressing. These are squats. This is a warm-up exercise. Squats. Shouldn't be arching too much in the lower back. Booty's dropping towards the earth, and then I'm pressing. Next, plies. Heels together, toes apart. Press up, press up. Almost like calf raises, but with heels together. Plies. Next, arm lifts. Seems simple. Arm circles. You can do palms facing forward, palms facing down, palms facing back, And then switching directions, palms facing back, palms facing down, palms facing forward. Arm circles, shoulder circles, forward and backward. Cat cow, coming down to hands and knees. We've been here before, cat cow. And remember, part of the purpose of our warm-up exercise is to get connected to our breath. So if you like any of these exercises so far and you're connecting with your breath, perhaps you stick with that exercise to get warmed up. From cat-cow, opposite arm, leg lift. We've done this too. Left leg extends, right arm extends. Placing it back down, slow and steady. Opposite arm, opposite leg extends. Try to keep the hips in line. It's hard to breathe and do these exercises and guide you through. That's opposite arm, opposite leg lift. Then we have tail wag. So kind of like hip circles. Perfect timing for my dog Bacon to bark and cry. And then if we wanted to do a couple jumping jacks for some cardio to warm up, not necessary, but if you need to get the blood flowing, jumping jacks is a great cardio option. So those were our warm-up exercises. Next, let's go into our turning up the core exercises. So this is where this begins to get fun. We have all these options for our exercises today, so just stick with me, roll out your mat. I'm sorry if the dog barks, and I hope my necklaces don't mess up. I'm gonna be really aware of the mic this time because I wasn't last time and I feel like it was disruptive. So I apologize. Thank you for sticking with me. All right, turning up the core. Let's go straight into it. Pelvic clock. We learned this last week. Shoulder blades press in, lift up into your bridge. Hips drop, find that clock. Pelvic clock, let's switch directions. Back to center, rolling down. We're gonna go straight into bridging and marching. Palms press into the mat, press the hips up to the sky, press through the left foot, right foot lifts. This is marching in place. Hips stay steady here. Smooth and steady breathing, marching, bridging, marching. We just want the hips to stay in line, heels to be underneath the knees, not too much pressure in the lower back, pressing through the glutes and using those hamstrings to lift those knees up. That's bridge marching. Let's talk about 100s to begin to warm up the core. Knees come into tabletop, ankles in line with knees, arms lift up. You inhale, exhale, and this is our 100s right here. This is a great way to turn up the core. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Inhale, 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 exhale, 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 exhale. This is 100s. Coming down. We can go into roll up to challenge the core. Legs extend, arms roll down and back. These are all options. Again, you don't have to do them all in a row, but these are all exercises to begin to warm up this body. All right, inhale here. Exhale, reaching and lifting. Woo, I wish my feet didn't come off to show you a perfect roll up. Let's see if I can try again. Come on, keep those heels down. Nice. That one was better. So see, as you begin to warm up, I do have some mobility issues in my spine. But as you begin to warm up, things might become a little easier. So that's our roll up. How about some leg circles? So coming down to the back, we can take it out into big leg circles. We'll take it up over here, actually. We'll take it up over here. We'll take it down. I want you to feel the different weights of the thighs and how heavy everything is. So you can't hold both legs up and do leg circles right here. We're gonna roll over to one side. I don't know if you just heard my pack pop, but yes. Okay, rolling over to one side, just supporting your side body, keeping those hips stacked. Maybe that bottom leg is bent for support here so you can have stability. And I just want you to begin to draw leg circles. And then opposite. Then we would roll over to the other side and do the other side. Opposite side. I'm just going to show you real quick what that would look like right here. And then you would draw your leg circles and then reverse it. And then coming down to the back, we're going to come on up. We're moving right into our cat-cow. We're still in the turning up the core section. So these are all exercises still that you can use to turn up the core before you progress into your harder exercises. Cat-cow, inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for your cat-cow. And then the last turning up the core exercise, opposite arm, leg and lift. We were just here. These are core exercises and warming up exercises. Let's go. Maybe you pick up the pace a bit. Maybe you try to point the toes or the heels. Find something else that feels good there. So that was turning up the core. So those are exercises that we would do after warming up in our foundational class progression of Mat Pilates. So nicely done. We've warmed up, we've turned up the core. Let's go into challenging the core. Now that we've done most of these exercises, if we've already demonstrated them, I'm not going to demonstrate them again, but I'm going to give you the exercises. And I apologize for my dog, Banks. I hope and pray that he'll stop. But if I let him out, then Luna, my French bulldog, wants to come out and then she barks. So it's either I have two dogs going all crazy all over me or one dog barking in the crate and the rest of them quiet. So next week, I hope to be at the studio again, y'all. Let's go into it. Challenging the core. Okay, so 100, we just did it. So to challenge the core, you would actually perform 100s. Breathing, 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 fluttering for about 100 pumps of the arms. Next, roll up. We just did that as well. That's another way to turn up the core and challenge the core. So practice more roll-ups. Leg circles, same thing. We were on our side body. We were having to stabilize through the hips on each side. That's another way to challenge the core. Okay, here we go. Now rolling like a ball. That's a great challenge for the core. Trying to come up and sit, not sinking into the back, letting those lower abs work. Holding it all in and together. Rolling like a ball. Moving into single leg stretch. Coming down, we can lift up. You can stay here, or you can come down on the back. You can come here. Ooh, I have some hip poppies today. Single leg stretch. Then there's double leg stretch. Double leg stretch. Single leg, straight leg stretch. Okay, so I just did demo that. So this is single leg, straight leg stretch. And then this would be single leg stretch. And then we have, so then this is double. Yes. and then we would come down, we would have crisscross. Breathing. I'm getting a nice warm up with you all. Crisscross. And then teaser. Woo! Teaser is challenging, so that's a more advanced. Your legs will be coming up. I'm not there yet. I do have some lower back pain. Next, increasing spinal mobility. So a mobile spine is a healthy spine. So when I say I have stiffness, I'm really working towards not having some stiffness and not having some overflexibility in the lower back area. So that's what I'm working on because a mobile spine is a healthy spine. So if I'm dealing with constrictions in some areas and then too much looseness and weakness in others, that doesn't sound as healthy as I could be. So to increase spinal mobility, we'll do some exercises like cat-cow, bridging, roll up, rolling like a ball. Here's one, open leg rocker. Woo! Woo, I can't get up on that one. Okay, come on. Okay, here we go. Woo, okay, trying to do that one is fun. Open leg rocker, try that one out. Then we have seal and saw. So coming over to seal, we'll just roll over onto the belly. Arms come out to the side. Palms press in. Lift. And lower. Seal. Toes are untucked. That feels nice. Good. Spinal mobility. Nice. And then let's go into some strengthening spinal extension. So cat-cow, spinal extension is when the spine is expanding and rounding. So we want to create that space in our body, create that stability and mobility. Cat-cow, bridging, swan, which is right here, pressing in, similar to an upward facing dog if you're familiar with yoga, but your legs are pressed into the mat here. We're fully stable. Swan. Then we have swimming. Chin tucks, breathing. Swimming. Single leg kicks and double leg kicks coming down to the back. Single leg, double leg. There's so many different things you can do with this. You can do this. Crisscrosses here. We can go here doing leg sweeps even. If you want to kick straight forward, have that leg lifted bent on the bottom, kicking back. These are sweeps. We could go here, pressing. These are all strengthening exercises. So this is part of a foundational class progression experience. And what I'm looking for you to do today is for you to pick out from the warming up, tuning up the core, challenging the core, increasing spinal mobility, and strengthening spinal extension. I want you to pull 4 exercises from each category and put it together for like something that you would like to do for your workout or something that would be good for you based on what you learned in your pelvic clock and instability workshop last week. So I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm excited to see what you come up with.